Hey guys, so today what we're talking about is an actual drill to work our grip. So if you've been shooting for a little bit and you've developed a good grip, in other words, you have the basics down of how you actually like to grip, we want to talk about starting to be able to trust our grip for a sight picture, right? In our grip video, I talked a lot about how just gripping the gun is actually our initial first method of sighting the gun. And when we're really, really close to a target, like right now, I'm probably maybe 3 yards from this target right in front of me. If I'm going to see my red dot, it's actually going to end up like taking more time, me searching for that red dot and trying to put it center, rather than me just trusting my grip, pressing out, and using my grip as a sight picture. So what that'll translate to is me being able to get those shots off sooner, not necessarily faster. Another thing we see when we're up close to targets, I see people build tension up, and I was guilty of this too. They build up tension because they're like, oh, I gotta go fast, gotta see that, gotta see my dot, or whatever the case may be, okay? So there's usually two different types of shooters with this. There's the people that are comfortable utilizing their grip to aim, but they don't have good trigger press, so they slap the crap out of the trigger, and that starts manifesting, if you go back a little bit further, to them starting to throw shots left and right. And then you have the people that are too precise, right? The people that draw out and they over-confirm where their dot's at. They might have good trigger work, but they're confirming that their dots, they need to see their dot, okay? So let me demonstrate both of those real quick, just for the sake of doing this. So the folks that are up close slapping the crap out of the trigger, when they shoot, it's gonna look like this. I didn't fail the drill or anything like that. I didn't see my dot on that, but I have an alpha over here and an alpha up top, right? So good, but if we press that back and I were to step maybe back to about here, you're now gonna see the input of my finger slapping the trigger, me being very pounding on that trigger, is now gonna translate into those maybe being like 2 Charlie. And then you press back a little bit further, and now we're going out into like the delta area. And then the other people that over-confirm are the people that want to see that dot center mass of the target, so I'll do that. So that was a 1.14. So good time, but the problem is we're building a habit that's going to set us up for failure a couple yards back. Now we'll over-confirm. Okay, still not bad. 1.55, saw my dot both times for that, and both those are about this far apart and just a little off to the left of the actual physical alpha. So the point behind this, guys, is there's got to be a middle ground, right? There's got to be a way we can train and trust our grip to a certain distance. And then also, if we get really good at confirming that grip and seeing our dot, that dot comes to us easier. So with this being a drill, here's the drill that I want to set you guys up with. Okay, so if we're doing this in dry fire, you can step a certain distance away, like start at 3 yards, right? And if you're doing it in dry fire, all you're going to do, come out of the holster, and when you get to extension, stop, pause, and go, does my grip feel good? Is my grip where I want it to be, right? And that's the first kind of just dry fire drill, right? Right there, I can feel my grip was a little bit low, and so I actually ended up presenting high left, right? So if I don't go through my steps and present the gun properly, my dot is not going to be there, okay? I won't be able to trust my sight picture. Okay, now we get to the range. How do we practice this, right? Because we have to literally ignore our dot in some cases. It's very difficult for people who are used to confirming it to stay focused on something on the target. So one really good thing you can do is you put a little dot on the target. You just put a little Sharpie mark on there, let you know that's what I'm looking at. That's where my focus should be. Eyes lead, gun follows. So I want to put my eyes where I want to bring the gun to, okay? The next thing you can do is you can take your red dot and you can either turn it off or turn it way the heck down to where you can, only if you sit and focus, can you catch your red dot. But if you just look through it, you don't see your dot, right? But you have to stop and focus. What this will do is it'll force you to take shots, because you'll be like, I'm not gonna see my dot anyway. It'll force you to take shots without confirming your dot, and then you can also double check, like, am I, then you can start to focus and be like, am I in the right spot? So to dry fire this, you turn your dot way the heck down, focus on what you wanna look at, come out of the holster, and then you can pick your dot up and be like, okay, am I in the right area? Did that work? Yeah, it's there. So you can trust that presentation without confirming that your dot's there, right? So then when you go to the range, the way you do this is you pick something, you focus on it, turn that dot either off or all the way down, and run the standard, right? And then you can push yourself out further, like I'll do here in a second. I'll start about here and I'll try and maintain the same splits, right? When do we, this is a key with this drill or anything we do, when do we actually fire? What is the thing that initiates us saying, okay, I'm good to go, I'm going to fire? The answer to that is the sight picture we need to see based on this, right? So if I'm way the heck back up there and I'm sitting there and I'm focused on my dot, I'm really crystal clear focused because I'm shooting a small target with my pistol, the thing that's going to initiate me firing is me seeing the sight picture of that crisp dot. So what we're gonna do is we're pushing a sight picture here. We're pushing not seeing my dot, we're pushing the absolute opposite, the gross sight picture, which is my hands and my grip is acting as my sight picture. I wanna see how far I can get away with that. So when we're drilling this, I'll rep it up close and be like, okay, I'm starting to get good with it, I'm starting to get good with it. The biggest mistake people will make is they'll start to rep this and their grip will be crappy. They'll get away with it up here, but when they push it back a little bit further, they won't get away with it. So let's start out by doing it. Once I have that sight picture, good grip, my sight picture should be right here. I know I'm good to go and I should be able to fire just boom, boom, without having to stop and see my dot. It's very easy to get sight picture. So eyes focused, ready to go.